Hello, my flexi friends. Today we're going to be going through some grounded stretches. Now, normally I would be stretching in my gym room, but I honestly love stretching in bed when I wake up or right before I go to sleep. And I just got gifted a big fig mattress. And if that is not a sign to give you some stretches in bed, I don't know what is. So the only prop you may want today is a strap or a towel, but that's totally optional. So make sure you're hydrated and let's get comfy in our beds for some stretches. Before we get into these stretches, I need to give a major shout out to Big Fig because I was so skeptical before I got this mattress. I really thought, a mattress made for plus size people. They're claiming it has edge support. They're claiming it won't sink and sag, that it can support up to 550 pounds per sleeper. I don't know about that. If anything, it's going to be a brick. I've never felt so silly about being so skeptical and wrong about a brand before because I am no longer sagging and sinking into the depths of the earth's core. I am no longer feeling like I'm about to slowly slide off the edges of my bed, and I feel supported, and I have slept like a literal angel on a cloud for the past few weeks. I've never slept better in my life. I also got the adjustable bed frame, so sleeping in zero gravity has actually reduced my back pain dramatically. Okay, that's enough about me gushing about this mattress. Let's get into some stretches. All right, we're on our backs, we're in our beds. We maybe have a pillow underneath our head, our knees are bent, our feet are grounded, and we're breathing deeply. So, while my cat comes joining us, we're going to bring our arms overhead. We're going to do some shoulder drops. So arms just straight in line with the shoulders. We're going to pull our shoulders away, trying to reach something above us and squeeze, drop it back down. We go again. Lift up, pull it down. Good. Keep it going. We're going to do 5 more. Feel the shoulder blades reach away. Pull them in. Keep it going. If your spine wants to move a little bit, you can let it. Good. We can bring those arms down. We are going to walk our toes out a bit and let our knees fall inwards here. We're going to do a broken bridge. So what that is we're literally doing an internal rotation on one knee. So bringing one knee in towards the opposite knee and switching. And we're just going nice and gentle back and forth here. Taking our time. I find this is a really great release if we're finding tension in our hips right when we wake up. But of course, we're going to go just even deeper after this one. Good. Once more. Perfect. Let your knees come in line with your feet. You can keep your feet wide here. We're going to do some windshield wipers. So I'm going to let my knees fall to the left as far as it feels comfortable, maybe all the way to the bed. Maybe it hovers a bit. Bring it up to the other side. We go again. Our arms can just be relaxed beside us, breathing in to these windshield wipers. Of course, at any point in time, you can always hold the position a little bit longer if you would like. All right, let's just do a couple more here just because it feels nice. And we can slowly bring our knees back up to center. I'm actually going to bring my feet together here. I'm going to let my knees open out wide. We're coming to a reclined butterfly here. Now, if your knees do not feel super open, feel free to grab a pillow and place it underneath the knees so it has some support. From here, I'm going to think of squeezing my glute muscles, that's my butt muscles, to activate my outer hips, pulling my knees down a little bit more, making this a bit more of an active stretch than a passive one. Because this, as a passive stretch, I will fall asleep in this position. So let's make sure the muscles are moving a bit, they're grooving a bit. We are finding some engagement in the hip area here. Breathing nice and deeply. Of course, remember, we never want pain when it comes to these movements. Discomfort's okay, not pain. So listen to your body as we do these. Good. You can release that activation in your glute muscles. You can use your hands here to gently bring your knees back up. So we're going to move into a knee to chest stretch. So we can actually use a strap, a towel. I know some people prefer using leggings for this type of move. If you want, you don't have to though. So of course, if you feel comfortable to, you can just grab onto the back of your thigh. But if you're using a strap or something similar, I like to loop it around the belly of the muscle. So the middle of the hamstring, not at the knee joint, not all the way down here at the hip joint, but right in the middle, pulling that strap and my knee in. I can slowly extend my other leg if that feels good too. But if I want, I can keep a soft bend in it. And I'm going to be breathing deeply on every exhale. I want to pull the knee a little bit closer in towards my chest. Okay? We don't really want it to come out too much or in. Try and keep it in line with the hip as you breathe deeply. If you'd like, you can add some nice little ankle circles here. And switch directions. Perfect. You can release your ankle if you are rolling it out. We're going to move into a hamstring stretch from here. So I'm going to extend my leg out to the sky. I can keep a soft bend if I'd like. If I'm using my hands, I can keep holding onto my thigh or walk my hands up. Or if I'm using a strap, the same idea. Glide that strap up to your ankle, your shin, your foot even. And just pulling the strap gently, breathing nice and deeply here, just feeling into that stretched area. Of course, on the exhale, you can always try pulling in a little bit closer, but we're listening to our body. We're never moving into pain. So from here, we're going to turn into a half happy baby. Now, if you want to use a strap still, you're going to put it around your foot here and move the strap into the hand, the same as the foot. If you're okay without the strap, you grab either the outside of the foot or the inside of the foot, bringing the knee down beside your rib cage, okay? So your choice, how you want to do that. I'm going to go back to the strap here, pulling it down, okay? Of course, if you do feel super comfortable here, you can go for a full happy baby, but I prefer half because I can just focus on one leg at a time. The hips are neutral because the other leg is straight out. We want to relax our shoulders. Keep pulling that knee down, kind of coming right beside the rib cage here. Good. You can gently release your foot from that strap or your hands and bring the foot down. Okay, so we're going to do that whole thing again with our legs on the other side. So we're going to start by bringing one knee up towards our hip, grabbing on or using our strap. And we can extend the other leg straight out. So again, we're just going to breathe deeply on every exhale. We can pull that knee in a little bit closer if we feel good to. You can even start rolling out our ankles a bit here. And switching directions. Perfect. So we move into that little hamstring stretch. So we extend the legs straight up to the sky, however that looks for us. We can keep holding on to our hamstring, maybe grabbing onto our calves, our ankle, even our foot, pulling it in ever so slightly just to get that nice stretch through the back of the leg here. All right, once you've had enough of this one, we can slowly bend the knees, adjust our grip or our strap, maybe grabbing the toes, the outside or inside of the foot, pulling the knee down beside the rib cage, breathing deeply. Again, if you want to go for a full happy baby, you are more than welcome to bring that other leg up. If you do that, remember to push your hips into the mattress here. Okay, our shoulders are nice and grounded too. Our spine feels long, and we're breathing deeply to help open up the side of our hips or maybe both of our hips. Good. You can very gently release. Bring that foot down. We can put that strap to the side. We are done with it. We are going to move into a nice spinal twist. So I'm going to scooch my feet and knees together. I'm going to open my arms out into a nice T shape. And I'm going to let my knees fall to one side. And I'm going to really push my hips and bottom knee down. And I'm going to look the opposite direction. And I keep driving my hips forward and down. Get a nice spinal twist here. Feet and knees come together. I'm going to open my arms out into a nice T shape so they're in line with my shoulders. And I'm going to slowly let my legs fall together to the left. I'm going to think of my hips pushing forward and down. I'm thinking of the top knee really pushing into the bottom knee. And I'm going to look the opposite direction towards my fingertips, or in this case, a kitty cat. And we breathe deeply as we sit in this spinal twist. We hold for a final 5, 3, 2, 1. You can bring your knees back up to center, and we're going to switch sides here. So keep your knees glued together, your arms extended. We let our knees fall to the right now. Again, we think of our hips pushing down and a little bit forward. Top knee really pushing down into the bottom knee. And again, we're looking the opposite direction of where our knees are pointing. Making that nice twist in the lower back. Maybe we even feel some action happening in our glutes, our hamstrings, maybe even the quads. But of course, you can close your eyes if you feel comfortable to. And we just breathe deeply here. Let's hold for that final 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your time bringing your knees back up to center. Give yourself a little shake, a little shimmy, whatever you gotta do. We're actually gonna flip around onto our bellies now. So we're on our bellies. We are going to move into our Cobra next. Now, Cobra, the most important thing is not if our feet are dangling off the edge of the bed. If they are, that's okay. It is our tailbone's position to protect our lower spine. Now, we really want to protect our lower spine. We want to think of a lengthening action in Cobra, not a crunching action. So we're going to curl the tailbone in towards the belly button. Push the hips deep into our mattress, and our glutes, our butt muscles are really going to squeeze nice and tight here. Okay, that's the position we want for our hips. Now, when it comes to our hands, we can have our hands in front of our shoulders here. That's going to be a less intense back bend, which may be nice, especially in the morning. We can have our hands underneath our shoulders, or if you want a fairly intense Cobra, you bring it underneath the elbows, okay? So I want you to pick your poison here. I'm going to go underneath my shoulders, elbows tucked in, curl the tailbone in, push it into the mattress here. I'm going to slowly lift my head up, lift my chest, feel my back muscles engage. I can start pushing into my hands here. My chest is being pulled forward as I take nice, deep inhales. I can have a nice soft bend in my elbows. I don't have to have them straight if I don't want them to. I want you to keep breathing deeply here. On your next exhale, slowly bend the elbows. Take your time bringing it down. Whew. All right, we're going to come kind of in a tabletop, not for long though. We're going to lift our chest and our hips up. So push into your hands, lift your chest, lift your hips. And I'm going to bring my knees in. My big toes are going to be touching. I'm going to sit it back, round my lower spine, and walk my hands forward or slide them forward into our child's pose. You can maybe bring a pillow, let your head rest, or bring your forehead straight to the ground, or in this case, your bed. I really want you to think of really rounding your lower spine to counteract the cobra, but to also, if you want a little bit extra in the shoulders, push into the bed with your hands. Ooh, there you'll feel some shoulder activation. I think I'm going to forego that and just focus on my tailbone and lower back though here. But just breathing nice and deeply. All right, when you're ready, I'm going to slowly bring my elbows in, walk myself up. I'm going to swing around, coming on to my bum here. So my legs are in a V shape here, but you can sit on the edge of your bed or in a position that feels comfortable. Optional to have a cat with you. We are going to do some cat cows actually here. So either grabbing onto the mattress in front of you or onto your legs. We are going to start with our cow, pulling our chest forward, finding a nice arch in our spine, pulling the shoulders down and back, chest forward, take a nice big inhale. Exhale, we're going to round our shoulders forward, round our spine, drop chin to chest. We go again. Inhale it forward. Exhale it back. I want you to follow your own breath here. Getting some nice spinal mobility. Of course, if you are like me, you're in a V shape and you maybe feel like you're falling backwards a little bit too much, I would suggest putting some pillows underneath your hips or just kind of propping them right up against your backside, just so you're not feeling that feeling anymore. You're not flopping over at all. Good. Slowly find a neutral spine. I want us to add a little side bend here. So whether we're seated on the edge of our bed or in our V shape, I'm going to bring one arm up and exhale it over to the side. If my legs are extended, why not bring the other arm out too? But if you're seated, just bring that hand beside you and just go into that side bend however far as you would like. Breathing, of course, nice and deeply. Bring it on up. We are going to move to the other side the cat is on. So bring the other arm up, take a nice inhale. Exhale, move into the side bend. From here, slowly bring it on up. I want to do a quick little neck stretch. So keeping the shoulders relaxed and down, drop right ear to right shoulder. If you want to add to it, opposite arm from where your ear is going to come down to the ground beside you. And of course, if you would like, the hand that is free can come to your head very gently. Let it rest. Don't pull on it. Okay, let it rest. Just to get that little extra stretch into the side of the neck, yeah? Of course, just breathing deeply here. I'm going to gently turn my head. So I'm going to bring my nose to point towards my armpit. I can still keep my hand to my head if I want, or maybe release it. This is just ever so slightly changing where we are stretching in the neck. Gently release your neck by rolling it down and lifting it up. And let's do the other side. So bring left ear to left shoulder. Breathing nice and deep, of course. If you want to add that extra little bit, adding your hand to the side. Bring your other hand to your head ever so slightly. We can change it up by turning our head so we get, think, nose to armpit. And we gently release, bring chin down to chest and roll it up. I want us to do one final stretch together, and that is going to be a wide-legged forward fold. So if we're doing it seated, you're just going to sit to the edge of your bed. You can keep a nice soft bend in your knees. Your feet will be wide. If you're in bed like I am, we're sitting still in a wide V shape. I'm going to move this cat of mine here so I can actually go into this stretch. All right, so our pancake pose. A pancake is only if we're grounded, seated like this. Otherwise, it's a wide-legged forward fold. So for that, we are going to slowly fold forward. And I want us to remember we can round our spine, which is normally something I wouldn't suggest. But for this, it's okay because it's our last stretch. I want to release any tension in our spine and our low back. So we're going to walk our hands forward. If we're seated, our hands will come down along our ankles, to our ankles maybe, or maybe our shins or our thighs, folding forward. Don't worry about reaching too far forward, but if you're like me and you like a little challenge, even when you're relaxing, grab the edge of your bed and use it to pull yourself a little bit forward. Okay? So maybe release our arms a bit. Settle into a posture that feels comfortable for our spine to decompress a bit. Maybe even wiggle our toes, make sure they're still here for us. Good. You can hold here a little bit longer if you like. I'm going to slowly take my time walking my hands back up to sit upright, either seated on the edge of the bed or in the straddle. But that brings us to the end of our stretches in bed. I hope you're feeling amazing in your body. I know I am. I can assume my cats are too because they are passed out behind me. But thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you to Big Fig for giving me an incredible mattress that I sleep so soundly on. If you want to learn more about Big Fig and get yourself a Big Fig mattress, check out the links in the description below. I can't wait to stretch with you again. But until then, drink some water, get some rest. I'll see you soon.